Greetings, fanboys and fangirls. Jared here with another video from Fanboys Forever, and today I'm bringing you probably one of the most exciting single days of news that I've ever seen for Masters of the Universe, at least in recent years. Today we had the kickoff of the PowerCon event in California, and of course PowerCon is the big celebration that happens yearly for Masters of the Universe. This year, Mattel has come to PowerCon with guns ablazing, with all sorts of new reveals, confirmations of things that we had already seen some leaked listings of, and some very exciting announcements, and even dispelling a few nagging rumors that we've been dealing with for months. So it's all so exciting, and before we begin, I just want to remind you to make sure you're subscribed, turn those notifications on so that you don't miss out on all of the incredible Masters of the Universe content that we have coming up here on the channel. I also want to give a really big thank you to the Twitter account Eternia. This is an excellent page to follow for all your toy news, and many of the pictures and a lot of the information that I got from PowerCon was from that page, so be sure to follow Eternia. Without further ado, let's get into it. So the very first reveal that we got was some actual pictures of some of the new Origins figures. You can see here that we have Eternia He-Man, who is based on a European audio adventure, and has been maybe more of a presence in the last few years with the classics figure that they did and all of that, and I really think this looks cool. Of course, it's a simple repaint of He-Man, but I really love it, so it was really great to see this. Clawful looks fantastic, looking so much like his vintage counterpart. I'm really liking the bulk of the chest and everything, and I think this one turned out great. We have many comic colors, Trapjaw here, or Steeljaw, and he looks absolutely incredible. I really like how silvery and shiny everything is, and I hope that that's retained in final production. This was a great way to kick things off, and I was really glad to see some pictures of this. Next up, we have some more actual photo reveals, and these are some of the basic figures that are coming out in Origins. We have Buzz-Off, and I really love how the helmet on the head sculpt and everything kind of turned out. It just looks fantastic. The colors are all right there, and it just looks awesome. Next up is we have Jitsu. I really love the actual vac metallization of the big karate chop arm. It was something I wasn't really sure if I should expect, but seeing how well the vac metallization on Battle Armor He-Man turned out for the big Target set, this seems to be that same level of quality, and I absolutely love it. And no surprise, we have the actual painted regular color version of the Sorceress, and she looks fantastic. Loving the orange and the blue and how it all turned out. Now, this is something that I'm going to do a separate video about for later so that I can discuss it in a lot more detail, but just for anybody who's watching this one, here's some exciting things that Mattel had to say about those nagging rumors. Of course, we've been hearing rumors for years now, mostly fueled by Scott Neitlich, who was the toy guru, the guy who used to manage Masters of the Universe Classics, that Mattel really didn't own He-Man anymore, and that actually the license only went until 2023. But Mattel has officially said that MOTU is not going away in 2023. I noticed that that doesn't necessarily clear up some questions, which I'm going to address in that video that's going to be up a little later. But they just flat out said that's just not going to happen. So it's not going to happen. There are no plans to discontinue Origins, and I can't tell you how happy I am to hear that, because Origins is the line we all love. Now we have some new Deluxe figures, and these are fantastic. And once again, we have more of that vac metallization technology that they've kind of resurrected for that Target set. And it's back here in full swing. We have Flying Fists He-Man and Terror Claws Skeletor, and the vac metallization on these guys looks great. I surely hope that that's production paint. Really liking how these guys turned out. They look so true to their original counterparts. The head sculpts are on point, and you can see that they have pretty much completely abandoned their reversioning of the He-Man head sculpt, and they're going for that classic look. Although it does look a little different than the ones that we've gotten so far. So I really do like it. I think these look awesome, so I'm excited. And next, we actually have a new vehicle. It's Origins Stridor. So this is really exciting, and I think this turned out to be something really special. For one thing, before I go on to anything else about the figure, look at how cool the little stable base is here. There's even kind of a little transparent notch there on the stand to kind of pose him up. There's like a gate, and it has that Castle Grayskull colorization on the base, and I think that looks wonderful. The horse itself looks fantastic. The energy effects are awesome, as if there's lasers shooting everywhere. Looks like there's ample articulation as well, and if I'm not mistaken, that may even be some ankle joints there. So eat your heart out, Battle Cat. Looks great. I'm very excited about this one. Here you can see all the different accessories and things that he comes with, and it's just an awesome looking set. This is very premium, and I think it speaks a lot to the amount of tooling that Mattel is allocating for this line. And we all know that more tooling means more of a chance that the line is continuing, and sure enough, it is. Here we have Stridor in the box, and this just looks fantastic. Of course, this new artwork up here is awesome. It's cool they put He-Man on Stridor up there. The artwork never disappoints on Origins releases. Now here was a big piece of information that was just mind-blowing and something that we all kind of hope for and we've discussed, but more MOTU coming up in 2022. The thing is that the Masterverse series is not just going to be a Revelation series. This is something that's huge. It's something we all hope for, but we know that so far it's just been Revelation, right? But we have a new series, and we'll get into it here in a second. New Eternia, Princess of Power, so yeah, major She-Ra stuff coming up. And then He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I think that He-Man and the Masters of the Universe is referring to the Netflix CGI show, and it would be really cool to get some highly articulated, highly detailed versions of those characters. The designs, actually, some of those look really nice, particularly the He-Man design, the Skeletor design. They both look really cool, and I'm excited about it. So I can't wait to see what directions that these Masterverse figures go in. This was a very exciting reveal. Regardless of how you feel about some of the changes that were made to King Grayskull for the series, I actually loved it, and I'm a guy who got the San Diego Comic-Con like exclusive classics, the very first classics figure, King Grayskull, so I love this figure. This is a Target exclusive, and yes, I know, but those have been a lot easier to find than people thought they would be, especially the Rise of Evil set is now, well, it's kind of shelf warming, so, but this looks awesome. We have a fabric cape. We actually have kind of a fluffy, soft goods, like fur piece over the shoulders there. He looks to be gigantic, really big. Two alternate heads. We kind of have a casual head and the kind of grimacing and sort of like angry head. All sorts of great accessories. We have another way to own the two halves of the Power Sword, which is really nice, not just the Scareglow release that they did. And here is the back of the packaging with the bio. And you can see some exciting reveals back here, which we're about to get into. Here we go, some new Deluxe figures, and this is exactly what I was hoping for with Triclops. As you can see, this Triclops allows you to do both distinct looks from the show. You have the new kind of, tech cult version, which I actually ended up liking a lot more than I thought I would. That was some of the funniest writing in the entire show. And then we have the classic version of Triclops, which gee, that looks awesome. I mean, he's kind of pinheaded, but that's sort of how the design looked in the show. So I think it looks great. Here it is packed out with all the accessories, and this truly is a deluxe figure. I love it when a figure can give you multiple looks, so this is fantastic. I love it, love it, love it. We also have another figure from the Deluxe line, and we have Trapjaw. And once again, you can do, it appears, the same thing, where, you can have him be in the tech cult, or you can switch him out to just have his regular kind of look. So this is exactly what I was hoping for. I'm so pleased to see that they're doing this, where you can get these other versions. Here we have some more Masterverse figures for Revelation. We have the new version of Merman. Now, I wished he did come with his vest. That would have been very easy for them to have done. I suppose that would have been more in Deluxe territory. But yeah, Merman was one of my least favorite redesigns because there's just not a lot going on. The chest looks very bare. It almost looks like he's missing accessories. So not very excited about this one. I really did like Kevin Conroy's voice work in the show, and I know a lot of people didn't, but it was something I liked. I do think this Teela figure is really nice, especially because you also get the hair down head sculpt. And I think this answers a lot of concerns people had about, they're just going to do the reversioning of Teela, which I think that figure actually looks really nice as well. Even just independently of if you like that interpretation of Teela or not, I think the figure looks nice, and this figure looks even better. So I'm really pleased with this. It's a terrific classic Teela. Here we have the new figures that were announced recently in the Big Bad Toy Store pre-order listings, and these are fantastic. We have Fisto over here, and I think this looks really good. I do wish there was a little bit more color variance going on. There's something about him that almost seems missing, almost as if the Silver Fist needed like a wash or something. I think that in hand it will look better in production, but I think he seems a little basic. There seems to be a little something missing. Over here we have the standard release of Scareglow, and you know what? This looks tremendous. I really like what they did. It's much more true to the animation, whereas the deluxe release we got for Comic-Con is more in line with the classic look of Scareglow, but this is much more animation accurate, of course. We have Andra, and I think it looks really good. Andra had a really terrific design in the show. It's not one I'm super excited about, but you know, it's good for what it is. Stinkor over here, J Muse. It actually looks really good. So I think this is a terrific classic Stinkor. Even if you didn't like the series, I think this will just be a great new Stinkor figure. And here is an announcement that is just absolutely shocking. It goes against all of my predictions and everything that I said in previous videos because, ladies and gentlemen, I think that this is the Barbarian He-Man and Barbarian Skeletor that was in those listings. And you and me, especially me, I think we all got it wrong. We were sure that we were so smart and thought that that figure was Vicor and some kind of new interpretation of Skeletor. Well, it was a new interpretation of Skeletor, but it certainly isn't Vicor. This is kind of a brand new look at He-Man and Skeletor that's much more in line with those original character drawings that we saw from the history of the brand. And let's just read what they have here. New Eternia features original character designs inspired by classic MOTU concepts and launches in action figure form first, with more stories possibly down the road. So I'm not really sure what to make of this. It's fascinating, I think. And maybe some new animation, maybe a comic book. We really don't know. Maybe a video game, which, you know, that's getting my hopes up for like an awesome MOTU video game. I think we all want that. Tell me in the comments below what a MOTU video game should be. But these excite me. These thrill me. This is new lifeblood for the brand right here. This is staking their claim, a new interpretation of He-Man and Skeletor based on those original designs. It's new, it's old, it's awesome, it's everything. This is my most anticipated release. Then, of course, we have the kids line. They knew better than to spend a lot of time on this, but we do have some new reveals in here. You can see that we can finally see the new Orko, which I think is cool looking. He's a little robot, and I think he's all right. Yeah, some of these are a little confusing. I guess that's supposed to be the new female Ram Man. I'm not really sure even what they're calling her. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments. And then over here we have Evil Lynn, and I actually think that she looks really cool. We have some of the bikes, and that, maybe that's a reversioning over there of Man-at-Arms. And I actually do like this version of Man-at-Arms. I wish this is the color that was in the show. And maybe he comes with a bike. Maybe that's how to get it. And you have the big Havoc Serpent Snake Mountain playset, whatever you want to call it. So it looks cool. Also, all sorts of brand new news about the Mattel Creations website, which for all intents and purposes is just Matty Collector 2.0. It's Mattel's new way of bringing you direct Masters product. And we have all sorts of new stuff coming up. You have this brand new mini comics design like Triclops. And of course, he won the fan vote, so we knew that was coming, but they're going to be selling it on Mattel Creations. But here's the big one. Yes, finally, we have confirmation of the brand new Sunman. Sunman's going to be joining the rest of the MOTU heroes at retail. But guys, not only are we going to get Sunman, but we're also going to get Digitino, Pighead, and more starting in spring 22. So this is great. They actually made a deal, Mattel did, with the group that created Sunman and the Warriors of the Sun. And if I could describe this really in one term, it would be that this is a lovely gesture. This is Mattel reaching out to that group who created Sunman, who I think had a terrific, I mean, talk about pure intentions. This was at a time when, you know, figure lines weren't as diverse as they probably could have been or should have been. You had young boys who didn't look like He-Man, and basically his mom saying, I can create something that he can look at and see himself in. Just the story of Sunman is lovely. I think there's a lot of purity to it, and I think Sunman deserves to be a part of MOTU. And it's great because Mattel doesn't necessarily own Sunman. They've just made a deal, licensing deal, because I think that they recognize the value in these creators staying independent and still having the rights. And this is just a lovely release. This is going to be for sale on Monday on Mattel Creations, so I'm excited. It's just awesome looking. There's even a comic book. It appears on the side. Then we have a little bit more historical information about Sunman and the history of the character. This is just so cool. It's great to see him alongside of He-Man. This is so cool. I can't wait to add this to my collection. And then Mattel Creations is going to expand a little bit. We have new figures coming up. We've got Wondar, which is a very exciting release. And down here, we have Koldar. There's also going to be a second release of PowerCon items, and I have no idea how limited this will be. I would say it's going to be insane to get a hold of these, but on September 13th, on Monday, along with Sunman, we're going to have this second chance for everybody. So I wish you luck. I hope it goes great. I hope everybody gets what they want, but we know how these sales go and we know how intense it's going to be. So be on there, be ready, guys. Okay, good luck to you. Here's all the items that are going to be for sale on Monday, on September 13th, MattelCreations.com. This is very exciting. It's going to be an insane time trying to get these. We're all going to do our best. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it or not. I hope I can. I hope it all goes well, but we'll see. It's worth noting that Mondo has shown off some of their stuff while they were there. You have this, of course, the blue kind of variant of Hordak that's made to look like the Filmation cartoon. You have a snake man-at-arms, which I think this looks incredible. I mean, gee, who wouldn't love this? Then you have this awesome-looking Skeletor. It's kind of repainted in more like a pearlescent colors. Then, wow, talk about an awesome-looking merman. Like, that is terrific. So, you know, if I'm left with one feeling from all of this, it's excitement. There isn't anything negative here that I felt just like dampen the mood. I think that there's just a whole lot of honest to goodness enthusiasm for the brand. Masters is soaring if you look at this presentation. I mean, talk about good stuff coming. And there does appear to be, you know, kind of some focus on Mattel Creations moving forward. So I don't know what that means for the brand. I don't know if we're looking at, you know, still a big retail presence for Origins, or if a lot of it's going to transition to that or what. But I mean, I just don't see a reason to feel bad about anything that they've shown here. This is major excitement. This is majorly huge news. So really, I just want you to share down below with me what you think of these reveals. Do you think Mattel's going in the right direction? Are you proud of them for actually stepping up and dispelling the rumors once and for all so that we can just move past it and focus on the excitement of these new figures? I mean, for me, my number one reveal is these new Eternia figures. I can't wait to see where this goes and where this new road's going to take us. And that's what I'm all about. I want to see new things done with the brand, and to see it pay homage to those original concept drawings is also a really big thrill. And be on the lookout for my next video, where I'm going to do a deep dive into what Mattel dispelling those rumors about the end of the line and them losing the license, what that might mean. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless you and yours, and I'll see you on Fanboys Forever. Fanboy out.